Hi everyone, Quick Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Quickly album, The Long and Short of It. This is a music project masterminded by singer, multi-instrumentalist, producer, and songwriter Mr. Graham Johnson. If you scour the internet these days, you can find a fairly large amount of bedroom brewed pop and R&B projects out there, but rarely do I come across one with a neo-soul flair, some textured sound play, and a taste for jazz melodicism too. And that's basically what Mr. Johnson has turned Quickly into on this record. Past tracks have also indulged in stuff like lo-fi hip-hop and glitch hop, which isn't surprising considering how textured, chunky, and groovy a lot of the beats in this track list are. There are kind of some general issues though that I had with the album. The flow of this record, for one, is a little choppy, and the vocal performances, while they're definitely in line with that DIY aesthetic, sometimes they do come off a bit too average or even comatose, with cuts like Come Visit Me as well as I Am Close to the River suffering especially in those passages where the vocals kind of need to carry things in the midst of all of this like shimmering, spacey instrumentation. That being said, I did walk away impressed by the vast majority of what Quickly presented here, as the lyrics are consistently thoughtful, the melodies are pretty sharp, the production is so varied and creative, and while on the whole it's maybe a bit too disjointed to be greater than the sum of its parts, many of these cuts on an individual level are great. Like the first track, Phases, which kicks off with this great spoken word intro from Sharif Simmons. I do love it, but it kind of sets the stage for what I assumed was going to be some kind of like Flying Lotus futuristic psych jazz experience. The following tune though is beautiful and kind of tense in its melodic progressions. It's got a great groove that gets even better as Johnson lets loose with some beefier kicks and bass laced with these raw guitar leads. I also love the subtly trippy sax passages that follow through from there. Then SHEE is a groovy alternative R&B cut with loads of lush layers, surreal effects, even forlorn vocal leads that I think some Joji fans could get into. Once the song establishes itself, it kind of moves through a bunch of instrumental variations topped with these angelic falsetto vocal harmonies. Just a truly lovely and euphoric vibe. Meanwhile, the nimble vocal melodies on the track Feel are captivating and shine a lot brighter than the humble delivery would imply. Johnson also flexes his talents as a lyricist on this track, talking about the emotional strife in his life, drawing some parallels from that to a film, and then blurring the lines between the two. Then the song Everything Is Different to Me really stuck to me thanks to its acoustic guitar passages, its dejected and somewhat hypnotizing vocals and grooves. But everything's different to me. This is easily one of the most strange and unlikely earworms on the entire project. But yeah, despite being so low-key, this somehow stuck out to me as being one of the most addictive songs on the record, and generally the more acoustic and folk-inspired cuts go over pretty well. So while I walked away from this thing impressed by a decent amount of tracks, some of the vocals really did leave something to be desired, and again, I think this record overall really struggled to come together with a cohesive sound, direction, something. There's a lot of great ideas and raw talent on this record and on these songs, but I'm hoping that at some point everything with Quickly just solidifies into something a bit more firm and, I guess, material. Or maybe even pushes things into even wilder and more unpredictable territory, with more genre fusions and maybe even more guest artists. But ultimately, I don't know what the future holds. All I can tell you is that I liked this record, and I think it has a shitload of potential if it continues digging in the vicinity of what it's beginning to break ground with here. Feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this one. Tran? Zishin, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head, it's another video you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Quickly, forever.